Hey guys, we interrupt this program for some breaking news. You know what that is, Andre?
Well, yes, it's the all-electric Ford.
Yep, the Mach-E, which is scheduled to officially debut on November 17th at 6:30 EST, has been leaked.
Yes, we have images, information. It's on forums, and we want to bring it to you.
Yeah, I think basically what happened was somebody on the Mach-E forum got a hold of the official Ford website. Now this is a guess.
Yes.
With all the information on it, the pictures, the styling, the specs,
pricing,
and of course this pricing on the new Ford Mach-E before it was officially supposed to be unveiled in a few days. So in this video we're going to go over all that, right?
Yeah, heck yeah.
And most importantly at the end we're going to give you the pricing.
Here it is, the Nexen Tire Nexen Hero Jeep Wrangler JL. It's a giveaway Jeep. Nexen Tire partnered with Purple Heart Foundation, All-J Products, and Rugged Ridge to build this Jeep to what you see here, and then give it away to one of our veterans. Very, very cool. You can enter the contest by submitting your story to Nexen Tire, and they'll pick one winner at the end of this year, 2019, and give away this really cool Jeep. Use the link in the description below.
Let's start with styling. What do you think of it?
Yeah, actually, I like it.
Yeah.
It's a four-door coupe design, right? And it has hints of the Mustang because Mustang is in the name, right? What do you think about it?
Well, you know, to me, it looks like a Mustang from the front and kind of a Mustang from the back and the Tesla Model X in the middle. So I think they paid a lot of attention to aero.
Yes.
So you've got this kind of very much, we'll call it Model X or Model Y styling.
Why? Because Model Y is coming.
Yes, so you've got this, you know, kind of small, thin nose, and it gets kind of big and fat, and then it gets small in the rump. And that's because, of course, electric cars are all about efficiency, and so you want aerodynamics. So that's a very aerodynamic shape. You know, I'll reserve judgment until we see it in person. But I like the front, I like the back. I'm not sure I like the middle.
I like the Mustang horse in the front, in the grille. It's outlined in an LED, light, which is cool.
And of course, what's been controversial is that they're using the Mustang Mach-E name. So it's kind of like what Toyota did with Prius a few years ago, where they took the Prius and they made it into its own kind of brand.
Several models.
Yeah,
right.
Ford here is taking the spotlight and the kind of iconic Mustang and converting it to a very different car. And some people, especially Mustang purists, find that to be wrong. And then, you know, from a business standpoint, it's probably smart.
Well, they also had the Mach-1 name, right? Yeah. So the Mach-E for electric, they're also drawing on some history there as well.
Yeah. So let us know in the comments below what you think. Should Ford have called this the Mach-E, or should it be something completely different? At first, when I heard it, and this is a number of years now, I was like, no, not that.
Yeah.
But there's been a seismic shift, I think because of Tesla and the way that electric cars are marketed. It used to be that they were marketed as efficiency, economy cars, right? Think California compliance cars.
Right.
But now, there's a shift in the winds, and electric cars are marketed for performance.
And style, too.
And style.
Yeah.
And speaking of performance, let's go over the performance. Why don't you let us know what we know about it?
Well, so Ford, in their Ford fashion, right, they have a lot of models planned according to this information, right?
We'll go over those in a sec.
Yeah, and at least 2 power levels. So there's going to be a rear-wheel drive model and an all-wheel drive model. You know, like Tesla doesn't usually publish their power specs, but Ford is saying, according to this at least, you know, these are our power specs, and on their most high performance model, the GT all-wheel drive, they're quoting mid-threes, 0 to 60.
Now keep in mind, this is all the stuff that's been leaked. It's not official.
Well, so, it's according to that.
It's according to the leaked information on the forum. So, you know, keep that in mind. There's a big caveat there. Yeah, they're saying up to 300 miles of range on the rear-wheel drive model, and with the more powerful all-wheel drive, 0 to 60 in 3.5. Now, what makes me a little concerned, a little bit eyebrow raising, is the longer range model is the rear wheel drive and not the all-wheel drive. Now Tesla has moved beyond that, and let's face it, this vehicle is aimed, I think, directly at the Model Y, and we'll get to that before it comes out.
Yes.
But Tesla now has over 300 miles of range on their all-wheel drive models.
Right.
And I kind of feel like this is going back one generation of electric car in the way that it's structured. You know, the more powerful all-wheel drive car, the one that's faster, also has less range according to the leak.
Yeah, well, let's reserve our final judgment until we actually drive it and actually see it officially. But I think you're right. We'll have to, test them and see exactly how that works.
Yeah, and by the way, I hope Tommy gets to actually drive it and reveal it this weekend. So come back
He's there. He's
there right
flying
now.
there.
Yeah, he's flying there. So hopefully before the end of this week, at least by Sunday, you'll have a first-hand look at it when Tommy files his report. Let's talk about the trims, Andre.
Yeah, so there's at least 5.
Okay.
Right, so there's a Select. It's a base model called the Select, rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive.
Not an XL, huh?
No, it's not an F-150, but there's seemingly as many choices as an F-150, maybe. There's a premium one. There's a model called California Route 1, CA1, which is cool, all-wheel drive, and they're calling it cruise-worthy.
Engineering.
Yeah, so that's interesting.
So that must be kind of the one I'm going to drive up from LA to San Francisco.
With the wind in your hair, windows open.
Yes, okay. And dog sticking his head out the window. All right. The next one is the first edition.
Yeah.
That's all-wheel drive only. That's a limited edition model. And manufacturers have been doing that recently. They've been doing limited edition, like first launch editions.
Yeah, special badging, special colors, stuff like that.
Yep. And then, of course, there's the GT, once again, all-wheel drive only, and that's the high-performance version. That's the one that's going to get that 3.5, 0 to 60. Yeah, I mean, I like the names of them. I think they're classic. I do like California Route 1. I mean, it does bring to mind the sun and the fun,
the ocean,
and the birch, and the beach. It's cool. All right, Andre, let's talk about competition, and primarily that's probably going to be the Model Y. It's very similar. It's a tall, kind of lanky-ish, fattish
crossover with same specs.
Very similar specs.
Yeah.
And the Model Y, you can pre-order it now.
Yeah.
Starts at about $50,000, and that's before incentives. So the one good thing that Ford has going for it, of course, is they still have their full federal $7,500 tax incentive and whatever local state incentives. And then if you get the performance, it's going to go a little bit more than that, obviously. I mean, this new Mustang is priced very competitively if you're looking at it as a Model Y competitor.
Yeah, and also if you look at the interior, we have a couple of interior shots of both the Mustang Mach-E, the leaked images, and of course you can see the Model Y as well. Both of them have big digital displays, right? The Model Y has kind of a horizontal landscape mode. The Mach-E is showing kind of a more vertical portrait mode, big screen, and also secondary screen for gauges behind the steering wheel.
Yeah, there's a couple interesting things on the Mach-E. I mean, there's obviously a very strong resemblance to the minimalist styling that Tesla first introduced. And did you notice that there are no door handles on the rear doors?
Yeah, actually, somebody in our office said, "Where is it? A two-door?"
Yeah, it's weird. You don't see them. Yeah, and then of course, other cars that it'll be competing against are cars that are out already that are more expensive that maybe directly compete with the Model X. So there's the Audi e-tron, there's the Jaguar I-Pace, and the upcoming Mercedes. All of the electric crossovers.
Yeah.
And this certainly undercuts them by price. Our Model X was $87,000, so this is much cheaper. And let's talk about how much cheaper it is. Let's talk about pricing.
Yeah, so the base model, the Select, according to this leak, would have a starting price of $43,895, so about $44,000. So that's a little bit less than the Model Y starting price.
Yeah, well, like $7,000 less.
Yeah, and then you have the $7,500 obviously tax incentive. Premium starts at $50,600. Then the California Route 1 would start at $52,400. First edition would be almost $60,000, and the GT, the performance model, $60,500.
Yep. So those are, I think, very competitive pricing for electric cars. I guess the big question I have, besides when they're going to build it, and we don't know yet. So we don't know
exactly when
the timeline is, when it's coming out. So we'll have to wait for Tommy to actually get us that report. But the biggest question I have is with Ford is, what's the build quality like? Tesla's build quality is pretty bad. Ford has been building cars a lot longer, so the build quality should be good. But Ford also sometimes has a reputation for cost cutting.
And hard plastics.
So I want to touch it, smell it, feel it, and see if Ford made it more of a premium car or went down and made it more of an affordable economy car. And we don't know that by looking at the pictures yet.
Right.
And then once again, Ford still has all their federal tax credits. So for instance, anywhere in America, if you buy this thing, you'll get a $7,500 federal tax credit. And here in Colorado, if you were to buy it today, you'd also get a $5,000 tax credit. So that's $13,500, $12,500 off. So we're looking at a $30,000 car.
which is pretty good looking
Yeah.
and has some good performance.
And the other things we still don't know are, of course, this is very important, our battery size.
Yes, but we have a hint about charging times.
Okay, let's.
So charging times, they said in this leak, 47 miles of range is capable of charging in about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So if you multiply it by 5, maybe within an hour you can get a full charge, but this is fast charging capability. So we don't know exactly the battery size or the 80% charge times, but that's one hint they gave.
Yeah, so obviously Volkswagen through Electrify America is building out DC fast charging network. We've been doing a lot of reporting on that, so you'll want to stay tuned.
And Ford is putting chargers in their dealerships. So they already announced that there's going to be like 12,000 points of fast charging or chargers at their dealers or near their dealers. So they're also thinking about that.
I'd be wowed, except Nissan did it like 10 years ago. And the other reports we've gotten is if you pull up, let's say in your e-Golf to the Nissan dealership, the Nissan dealer is not going to be thrilled.
They're not going to be charging you?
Yeah, they're not going to be thrilled to have you charge it up. Well, guys, you have a lot of questions for us, and we have a lot of answers. So starting now, if you have any car or truck buying questions, be sure to tune in live to our updated new show, What Car or Truck Should I Buy? And that's a live show where we answer your car and truck buying questions every Monday and Friday at noon Pacific Standard Time.
Yep. Just submit them at ask@tfltruck.com, the questions, and we'll schedule it and answer them.
Or better yet, tune in.
Yes.
Monday, Friday.
And super chat us.
Yeah, noon PST, and do a super chat, and we will answer your questions. Well, thanks for watching, and as soon as we have more news on this, we will get it out there. Tommy is there right now, so keep tuned, and you'll get the latest and greatest on the Ford Mach-E leak news. See you guys next time.
tflcar.com.
Ciao.